Oh my God, I got scammed in Mexico. I got scammed at a timeshare. I can't believe it. Can you believe it?
Bruh.
Anyways, all right, just waiting for everybody to get in here. As you know, the little live stream answer questions session that we usually do here. You want more information, you can click the link in the description of this video or in the chat or in the comment section. So you can find out more information how you can ask me a question or get me to talk about a topic, whatever that topic is. Like today, we're talking about getting scammed by a timeshare company in Mexico. Now today, today's comment was brought to us by Anonymous. All right, they don't want to know. They don't want anyone to know who they are, but they wanted me to talk about this subject. And this is something that I'm not gonna lie. I was actually gonna make a video of in the future at some point, because a lot of times when I get like a lot of times when I do a Zoom consultation meeting with one of you guys out there and we have a one-on-one conversation, sometimes I get this topic brought up, and a lot of times unfortunately people have already fallen for one of these situations, and it's already too late by the time they talk to me or reach out to me, and most of the time they're kind of stuck like Chuck, as they like to say, and there's nothing that they can do about it. In a few instances or cases, let's say you pay with an American, credit card, bank card, whatever. If you get lucky, you might be able to put a stop payment on one of these, before it's too late. But sometimes, especially with some people that pay in cash, you're stuck. It's over. And we're going to be talking about this in depth today. I just kind of want to give an overview of what this is for people that don't know. In the chat right now, Mr. Hansen, he's someone out there in the audience, a fan. He's been watching for a while, but he's also into real estate. And I see that he's kind of spamming the chat with some information there. So let's read what he says, because I'm sure he has some more insight than the regular person on this thing here. So Hansen says, that's where you go. That's where you buy the right to live somewhere. I'm guessing he's talking about timeshares. So timeshares, that's where you go and buy the right to live somewhere for part of the year, like buying the right to have a rental for part of the year. Problem is, you do not own the asset at all. Correct. You don't own the asset. You just own the time there. Oh, almost had to sneeze. 1 second. Jeez. I thought I had to sneeze for a second there. Man, I wanted to sneeze. Now it's like stuck there. Jeez. I'm just allergic to scams. I guess that's what it is. All right. So he continues on and says, and they are priced much more than rental properties. They're priced like you are buying 1/5 of the home. So yeah, that's another thing too. A lot of times, people sell you on the whole timeshare thing, but it's going to cost you more than if you actually just rent an Airbnb or rent a rental home from VBRO or whatever, Anyways, all right, so let's go. He says, so the owner sells 5 timeshares for 30 years. So basically, he gets the property, divides it into 5, sells it to 5 different people, and it's as if he sold the property but keeps the property so they can sell it again for 30 years. So they can sell it again in 30 years. So, I mean, yeah, you know what I mean? It's anyone that is in this business is a very lucrative business. I'm from Florida, originally, and the whole timeshare thing, this whole, getting scammed, through a timeshare, buy a timeshare, whatever, is nothing new to me. It's a very common practice. So of course that they've been doing it in Mexico for a long time. Now you're probably not going to get too many of these. In fact, I've never heard of them here in Merida where I live, but for a fact, I know that they are in Cancun, but definitely they are in places like Acapulco, Puerto Vallarta, and places like that. Places that, basically have been tourist destinations for Americans or for anyone, but places that have been tourist destinations in Mexico for 30, 40, 50 years longer. Cancun is relatively new, as opposed to some of these older places, and so these places and you go to Acapulco, Puerto Vallarta, whatever, they already speak really good English. They already know how to scam you. They've been doing this for decades. They already know what's up. So they basically see you coming off of the boat, coming off the plane, and they're already, attacking you. And before you know it, you're already buying a timeshare. You're paying for a timeshare. You're getting involved with a timeshare that you never wanted anything to do with. And that's, that's kind of like why I'm bringing this up and making this video, because I feel like a lot of people just have no idea what all this is. And so, a lot of these people, I don't know, what is it? I don't know the particular tactic that they use per se out there in these areas, because I've never been out there, but I have been in many places where they do this. Like I said, I'm from Florida. This is nothing new. But I have been all over Mexico, and I know how pushy salespeople can be out here on anything. No matter what they're selling. It could be some fruits and vegetables. It could be food, at a restaurant. It could be, trinkets at a store, for tourists. It could be at a regular store, for regular Mexicans. It doesn't matter. They're very pushy salespeople. So I can only imagine how pushy they're really going to be and how bad they're really going to get, when it comes to the whole timeshare thing. Okay? All right. So what I decided to do, besides provide my few words on the subject here, I kind of looked up a article on the subject that kind of gave a bunch of tips that I think would be very useful to a lot of you guys. And we're just going to go over that, and we're just going to dissect this a little bit further. And that's it. That's what we're going to talk about. Okay? Because like I said, I know for a lot of people out there, you don't even need to watch this video. You already know how to steer clear from a lot of these scams. But there's a lot of people out there that just have no idea about these scams. They don't think that there is a scam. A lot of people think that these things are still good. Timeshares or other ththings like this. The reason I'm picking on timeshares is because that's really like the main kind of problem or scam that they have running out here, when in Mexico or in any touristy place. But there are other scams that are very similar to this. And, these tips that we're going to be reading about and talking about right now, they can go for many things, not just, avoiding a timeshare scam. Whether you're in Orlando, Florida, and Mickey Mouse is trying to sell this to you, or you're in Acapulco and it's Juan, trying on his donkey trying to sell it to you. You know what I mean? All right, whatever. All right. I know. It's a bit. Okay, so let's read. Let's continue. Okay, so. Okay. Sorry. Okay. A timeshare scam is a fraudulent scheme in which an individual or organization misrepresents or exaggerates the benefits of purchasing a timeshare property or anything. Anything. It doesn't have to be a property. It can just be anything. In order to convince a consumer to buy it. Being aware of these scams is important because they can result in financial losses and disappointments for the consumer. So what is a timeshare scam? A timeshare scam is one of the most common types of frauds that target unsuspecting consumers. Sorry. It involves an individual or business offering a timeshare property for sale at an incredibly low price, only to find out later that the timeshare does not exist or is not worth the price promised. Unfortunately, many people have been scammed by these deceptive practices and have lost thousands of dollars in the process. These scams can range from outright fraud to misrepresentation of the terms and conditions of the timeshare agreement in some cases. They may even involve identity theft and or financial fraud. It's important for potential buyers to be aware of these scams so they can protect themselves from becoming victims. Here are some common timeshare scams that you should be aware of. So again, if you see any of these, steer clear. If you see any of these warning signs, steer clear. All right. So number one, high pressure sales tactics. High pressure sales tactics are methods used by salespeople in order to persuade consumers to make a purchase quickly, often by creating a sense of urgency. Examples of these tactics include calling or emailing multiple times, using scare tactics, and using emotional appeals. Again, hey, if you don't buy this now, it's going to go off the market. Hey, if you don't buy this now, I got 5 people interested in it. You're going to lose out, blah, blah, blah. Okay, To spot these tactics, be aware of any salesperson who is pushy Again, that's the last thing you want. You don't, if you, something that's a valid sale, a valid product doesn't need, for that product to be shoved down your throat. Okay. So if that's how you feel like someone's shoving something down your throat, someone's pushing something on you, that's not something you want to buy. All right. Things you want to buy, they don't even have to do sales or marketing in many times. You know what I mean? It just sells itself. Okay. So as you know, all right. To avoid these tactics, take your time. All right. Do your research. I know you hear this all the time. Do your research and never feel pressured to make a decision on the spot. It's always good. Remember, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. It's always good to take a step back, think about it, and consult with others before making any commitment. Again, a lot of times when people reach out to me, they already bought it. They already spent the money. They already lost the money. And then they reach out to me, maybe not just for help, but in some cases, just to they're asking for advice at that moment in time. When in reality, you got to reach out to your friends, your family, people like me, whoever, okay, at that moment in time before you make the purchase, and then, go on that advice. Because again, there are good purchases out there, but for the most part, a lot of things out there are scams, okay? And again, it's not just Mexico. It's in a lot of places in life. But, obviously people that come here, to one of these, touristy destinations, and automatically they're bombarded, with, sales on how to buy property, what to, buying property. And people already have the idea that they want to move out here, live out here. And then before they know it, they just got off the plane and they got an offer, too good to be true, to have an apartment, a house right on the beach for a few dollars. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? So think about it. If it's such a good deal, they don't have to pressure you to buy it. These things sell themselves, right? Okay. So it's always good to take a step back and, okay, blah, blah. Okay, check. Okay. It's better to get help from pioneers of the timeshare exit industry. Okay, whatever. Okay. So, the next thing that they're going to offer, free vacation offers. Okay. The next thing. All right. Uno segundo here. Free vacation offers are a type of timeshare scam in which a company offers a free vacation as a way to entice consumers to attend a timeshare presentation. I'm sure you've heard this many times before. All right. Again, hey, you get a free trip to Cancun. All you got to do is just sit through a presentation. Hey, you get a free trip to Acapulco. All you got to do is just sit down for a 2-hour presentation. You're good. Don't worry about it. No obligation. It's all free. Nothing's free. Nothing is free. Okay, so anyways. Free vacation offers are a type of scam that offer a free vacation as a way to entice customers to attend a timeshare presentation. The catch is that the consumer is often required to attend high-pressure sales presentation or pay hidden fees. Examples of these offers include free trips to exotic locations, complimentary cruises, or no obligation vacation packages. To spot these offers, be wary of any vacation offer that seems too good to be true or that require you to attend a sales presentation in order to redeem them. To avoid these offers, do your own research. Be cautious of unsolicited phone calls or emails or anything, all right? Anything unsolicited. Never give out your credit card information until you are sure of the offer's authenticity. It's also good to read reviews, just like you read reviews on anything. So, same as this. Read reviews of the company offering vacation packages and check if they have any history of scams. Okay, check for the history. Now, again, you might say, oh, but how can I check for reviews? The company probably doesn't have any reviews. That's the review in itself, okay? If you can't even find any reviews or anything online about the company or the place, that's the biggest red flag you can find. Another thing. Upfront fees. Upfront fees are charges that a timeshare company requires a consumer to pay before they can purchase a timeshare property. These fees are often used as a way to scam consumers as they may not fully disclose or may not be refundable. Examples of these fees include maintenance fees, closing costs, membership fees, To spot these fees, be wary of any company that requires you to pay a fee before you can purchase a timeshare property, or that does not require fully disclosure of all fees associated with the purchase. To avoid these fees, again, do your research, ask for a written copy of all fees, and read the fine print before signing any contract or agreement. It's also good to consult with a legal expert. No one's going to do that, but whatever. Or a consumer protection agency. Again, no one's going to do that either. The details of the agreement, and check any red flags. Okay? Misrepresentation of ownership is a type of timeshare scam in which a company or individual misrepresents the terms of the ownership or availability of a timeshare property in order to convince a consumer to buy it. Again, this is false advertising. Okay? This is wrong and illegal in many cases, all right? Examples of this scam include lying about the number of available units, falsely claiming that a property is a good investment, misrepresenting the terms of the ownership or maintenance fees, and so on and so forth. To spot this scam, be wary of any company or individual that makes false or misleading claims about a timeshare property, or that is unwilling to provide documentation or proof of ownership. Again, you know what I mean? What do you mean? You're selling me this timeshare and you cannot prove to me that you own it? To avoid these scams, again, do your own research, ask for documentation, check for the credibility of the company or individual. Okay? A resale scam. Okay? So what's a resale scam? A timeshare resale scam is a fraudulent scheme in which a company or individual falsely represents themselves as a legitimate reseller of timeshare properties and convinces the consumer to pay an upfront fee for a non-existent or overpriced property. Okay? Examples of the scam include companies that guarantee to sell your timeshare quickly but don't deliver, or falsely claim to have a buyer for your timeshare. To spot this scam, be wary of any company or individual that requires an upfront fee for resale services, or that guarantees to sell your timeshare quickly. Again, about the reselling of it, the reselling and the profit made from the reselling should be enough incentive, and the fee should come after the selling. There shouldn't be any reason for you to, pay any fees before or ahead of time. And again, to avoid this, do your own research. So, in conclusion, how to avoid these? Again, don't give any money up front. Question as much as possible. Don't fall for any of these scams, to begin with, by, just opening your mind and your eyes a little bit. And at the end of the day, you will be fine. But these scams are not just in Mexico. They are all over the place where there's any kind of touristy area. It doesn't have to just be Mexico. Like I said, Europe, USA, whatever. You're going to find these things are more common than you might think. And don't be a victim. Seriously, it's as simple as that. Don't be thinking that just because, you got off the plane, you heard that Mexico's nice and friendly and beautiful, that no one is going to be out there to try to scam you or try to take your money or none of that stuff. Of course, it exists. Why wouldn't they? Especially if you're gullible or, enough to not do your own research, or you're not, again, you don't want to do your work or your research. That's the main people that take advantage of. They take advantage of the lazy consumer that doesn't want to do any research or work regarding their own money spending. And that's as simple as that. So, try to avoid these if possible. They are all over the place in very touristy areas, but they're extremely avoidable. And a lot of times, the consumer out there, falls for these scams. Sometimes, thinking you can beat the scam in the sense of like, oh, all I got to do is go to a presentation and I get a free vacation. I got nothing to worry about. I'm going to beat the system. Only to later find out that vacation that you thought was free cost you 3 times the amount of what the vacation would have cost you if you would have just come out here and paid it yourself. Okay? So don't learn that lesson the hard way. All right? Learn it the right way, which is, again, just do a little research and just follow common sense. All right? And your intuition that, again, if something is too good to be true, it probably is. All right. So with that being said, if you guys want more information on how you can ask me a question or get me to talk about a certain topic, whatever that topic is, whether it's this topic or other topics, like again, we've talked about already before. You already know what to do. Go to my website and click on the link that I provide, and you will be taken to, this page. And on this page, you'll be able to watch this video, read the instructions, and you'll be able to ask me a question yourself. So, all right, guys, with that being said, I think we're going to wrap this baby up. We got one more video coming up right now in a few minutes, and I know you guys are looking forward to that one, just like you're looking forward to the other ones. I don't think many people were looking forward to this one, but hey, it is what it is. I had to make it. Thank you to Anonymous out there, and shout out to you, and I hope you're able to recover some of your money back from your ordeal. All right, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes for the next question, for the next stream.